Hey guys, Otto here from Acquisition Partner. Now today guys, in this video, what I'm going to do, I've done it once on the channel already, is I'm basically going to go through my cold DMs that I've received on Facebook and roast them. And specifically, I'm going to show you a chat kind of history of a guy that reached out to me, added me on Facebook. He then sent me presumably automated, outreach cold DM. And then what I want to kind of show you and talk you through is the ensuing kind of back and forth we had. Now, my intention with these videos, and like I say, I've done one previously on the channel that you're more than welcome to go and check out, where I basically did the same thing. I had a guy called DM me. I gave him a little bit of kickback, or really in the technical sense, gave him some initial objections just to see kind of what he was made of. And then it all sort of chaos ensued from there. So I'll link that video down in the description below. This video again is going to be along those similar lines. Really what I'm going to kind of show you is the kind of cesspool that Facebook Messenger has become. If you've got some sort of agency or an online offer, chances are you're going to be getting cold DMs from people all around the world every single day anyway, with offers that you're seeing 100 times repeated a day. It's almost like it's the same person doing it, which a lot of these accounts it is. But specifically what I'm going to do in this video is go into one of these chats here, and I'm just going to pick apart a couple of points here that you can then apply to your own cold DM strategy, and more importantly, your mindset, okay? Because I come from the real business world. It's almost 6 years now, coming February in 2024. It'll be 6 years of actually having a business without ever producing online content, or no less selling an online course to actually create that business and make money from it. So I've existed in the real world where you are having to meet objections left, right, and center in order to get to your end goal. And what I'm amazed about right now is just the state of and kind of level of insecurity that these guys have when they are met with any sort of friction in their kind of perceived sales process. So the kind of general sentiment, I'm going to show you the message in a minute here, is that they can send you a cold DM and that you're basically going to agree to it without asking a single question, book a call with them, and then they're going to close you. And what I've found is that, like I say, I try not to do these videos in a negative way, because I think ultimately this information is going to help you if you're doing this, or if you're in the same position, or indeed if you have a company with appointment setters in it, you can share this video with them to show them what not to do, okay? But that being said, I don't want to make these videos negative. I'm not going to show you this chat and kind of harp on at this guy, because at the end of the day, he's doing what many people in the world aren't doing. He's trying his hand at growing a business, presumably. It's his. I haven't even looked at his offer. But look, there is a right way of doing things and there's a wrong way of doing things. And I think if this guy, maybe he'll see this video, hopefully it'll give him some insight into what he's doing wrong, basically. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through here. I think I even blocked him at the end of it. I don't know why I did that. I don't really care. I think it was to stop him potentially calling me. Yes. So, okay, right. So it's this guy. Okay, and what we're going to do is go, I think he messaged me ages ago, and it was probably on a bathroom break or something like this, but I think I put it on Instagram, where people were sending me these DMs and I was super, super bored, and I was going back with just literally replies that kind of tickled me and gave me some entertainment in the moment. And again, I really have to say, I don't believe in responding to people in a negative way. But I think, a lot of these guys that are reaching out to me are people that would actually benefit from what we do at the end of the day and the information that I put out on YouTube. So he reached out to me initially, misspelt my name here. Okay. So obviously it's not a good start. If you're reaching out to a prospect, if you're trying to make a sale, you need to get their name right. Maybe he did this on purpose for a pattern interrupt, but either way, if you get somebody's name wrong, it's just simply rude. They're going to think that if you've not been able to pay enough attention to spell their name correctly, how are you going to actually deliver on a service that's worth them spending lots of money on, okay? So I wrote back, misspelled his name, said impossible is nothing. I don't know why I even said that. I think I sent about 5 messages that day to people. So this guy comes back, hits me straight with his offer, okay? So true, we actually build and install client acquisition infrastructures for companies to effortlessly add an extra 300 to 500K in ARR. If we don't acquire 30 to 60 appointments for you within 90 days, you don't pay us a single penny. Would you be open to some more info on how we could help you achieve this? Okay, so the amount of times that people reach out to me with this exact same offer makes me just simply cringe at everybody that's trying to put it across. Okay, so at the moment I don't even know what the service is that he delivers. Maybe it's cold email or LinkedIn automation, whatever it might be, but for some reason, I don't know if people, thousands of people have taken one specific online course. Maybe if you know, you can actually let me know in the comments below. But everybody seemingly at the moment is hitting people with offers about, we can book you 90 appointments a month, 100 a month, 20 a day, whatever it might be. And if we can do that, are you open to more information to try and get their micro commitment? Okay. Most legitimate business owners aren't going to spend their time coming back and saying, oh, yes, please, that sounds absolutely fascinating. We'd love to have a random additional 60 appointments per day. Please send me everything you have on it. People aren't going to come back to you with that. The only people that are going to come back to you with an offer like that are probably time wasters and clients that don't have the budget to pay you what you actually want and what you're worth, okay? So when you're dealing with CEOs of companies that are doing over 25 million in annual turnover or 100 million, 250 million, they're not going to spend a moment to come back to you and say, oh, yay, please, that sounds so exciting, okay? Not least with an offer like this, all right? So I didn't reply to him like most of these people who don't reply. And then he went on to do what everybody seemingly is doing on Facebook and Insta DMs, is send gifts. Okay. And in my previous video, I made a couple of comments about this, how it's not, look, we're all young enough, we're not going to take things like this as an insult. We're not going to get triggered by it. But what this kind of is leveraging is kind of a certain degree of passive aggressiveness. It's sending these messages across, indeed trying to get attention, but it's kind of arsey, it's kind of annoying. And again, any legitimate business owner that actually has cash flow to pay you, they're not going to see these gifts and think, oh wow, this is so funny. This guy really gets me and understands me and my pain points and my problems and my business. And yeah, I'll send him a reply now saying, wow, fantastic. I'm so sorry I didn't reply to you. Please send me everything you have. It sounds great. Okay. Chances are the majority of people that are looking at these business owners, legitimate business owners, are going to be looking at these gifts thinking this is a child or a teenager that's trying to, send me spam basically. And this is the problem at the moment that we're seeing, not least with a lot of our program members in the accelerator, but just widespread. It's an epidemic across the online sort of marketplace right now. It's this volume-based approach with the exact same offer. 30 to 60 calls booked a month, or you don't pay a penny. Okay, if I send you information, okay. And people are running these offers and asking us, I don't understand why they're not landing, or we can only get clients that want to do 30-day free trials and pay per lead, and we're struggling to deliver results. Okay, they don't know how you can actually close a legitimate, real, liquid business on 12 to 24 month contracts where you're actually billing them 100K a year specifically for one client only. Okay, so from here he sent me a few gifts, and again in the last video I'll link below, I picked up on this strategy. Okay, so I was thinking, this guy's keeping on messaging me. What could I do that gives me entertainment, that doesn't take a lot of my time and will actually benefit me from giving this guy my attention? Because, the other thing that I'm finding a lot at the moment is that people, when you say to them, what are you selling? They say, I'm not selling anything. And you then ask yourself, well, I must be mental then. As a business owner, you're just contacting me. Are you out of, altruism and benevolence in your heart? You're just trying to make a friend. Is that why you're pitching me an offer, but you're not trying to sell me that? At the end of the day, you have to be honest and you cannot be disingenuous. If somebody says to you, what are you selling? By all means, go back to them and say, well, look, I don't know if I'm selling you anything right now at all. That's actually why I'm contacting you. We've had it a lot with the e-com agency where e-com is one of those niches that is just unbelievably badly saturated, and we'll work with a lot of brands that have had their fingers burnt previously by agencies and don't trust, the general kind of agency economy, because they will have individuals reaching out to them doing things like this. Okay, so when they say to us, what are you selling? We say, we've been going almost 6 years. We are a business. We make money by selling. That's what a business is. We're not a charity. We think from top level desktop research that you might be a good fit for what we deliver. We've done it for XYZ brands who are very similar to you, but the reality is, from this message here, I actually don't know if we can help you or not, not least uphold our money back guarantee to you. So based on that, this is what I think we can do. does tomorrow 2 p.m. work for a 5-minute call to discuss this? Okay, there has to become a point where you are fully transparent, and what we kind of try and promote and encourage is people to do that from the off. Okay, you have to be ethical, you have to be authentic, you cannot be disingenuous, and you have to be upfront if the prospect asks. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to go back with a price and then they ghost you. You know, there's a certain way of doing it, but this is not the way of doing it. Okay, so I was thinking here in this moment of boredom that I had, what could I do to see how confident these guys are and how much they believe in their offer? Okay, and bear in mind that this guy is saying, I will effortlessly add an extra 300 to 500k in annual recurring revenue. Okay, so a massive claim. All right, so I'm thinking, if this guy adds 300 to 500k a year, what is he going to charge for this? 5%, 10%? Say he's billing 30k up front for his service, or 30k a year, whatever it might be. Well, we've just recently introduced a kind of gateway product to a lot of the guys who can't necessarily afford, or they're not at the right stage in their agency genesis to join our full accelerator. We've released a small playbook, basically, that's going to help you acquire ultra high ticket clients, as well as giving you access to our Discord server. We've got over 250 members in there currently. Now, I was thinking it's £79. I think that's 97 USD to join. And I was thinking, if I send this to this guy, say, look, sounds like you're trying to sell me something. If you stand behind your offer and you truly believe in the value that you deliver, you can you're more than welcome. You can join my community. You can send me a DM on Discord here, and you can purchase the client acquisition playbook. Okay. So yeah, you're going to have to spend £79. This is me ring fencing my attention. This is me setting my boundary, but also I'm giving you a pretty clear opportunity here. If you spend £79, we don't make money off of this product. This isn't a product designed to make us rich. You know, when we're doing deals with our own clients that are worth 10, 50, 250 million every year. This is an introductory offer, like I've just explained, that we introduced recently for members basically who can't afford the main accelerator with us. So it's something that we've done basically as added value. It's not free value. There's a little bit of upkeep, which is why we charge for it. It takes a little bit of administrative effort and organization, which is why, you know, we charge a small fee for it. But he comes back and says, nice try. Okay. So I'm thinking, if this was me and I'm faced with a prospective client here who said that, what's stopping me going back with a positive attitude and some questions? You know, wow, that looks really interesting. Looked at the landing page, looks great. Love your copy. Wow, that looks amazing. I can see you've helped over 250 people. You know, if I was to jump into there, how would you see our conversation panning out? All right. When you're dealing with a new prospect, you have to ask open questions, and you can't come back ego-led. You can't come back with, you know, I'm worth more than that. You know, at the end of the day, if you're purporting to add 300 to 500k per year to my business, wouldn't it be worth you spending £79 in order to do that? You know, chances are, if you actually take that leap and demonstrate that you are giving me value, you know, not only financially, but you're actually investing your time, you're following instructions, which is important to me. If I'm going to pay a service provider, I want to know that they are actually going to do what they say they're going to do. You know, then chances are, and if your offer actually works, and I've not come back and said, you know, I'm not interested, chances are we might actually work with you. Okay. So this guy comes back, and I've given him every opportunity to do that. Okay. Comes back with this, nice try. So I say to him, reiterate the point. I'm giving you a 79 CAC here, okay? So the cost for you to acquire me as a client is £79, right? And if you compare that, your high ticket service, where you're going to add 300 to 500k in annual revenue to my business, presumably you're charging 5 to 10% for that, whatever it might be, 30k, 60k, 100k, I don't know what you're charging. You know, wouldn't it be worth £79 to acquire me as a client? Okay, compare that to Google, compare that Google PPC, compare that to Facebook ads, TikTok, whatever it might be. I think that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so I said to him, you know, don't look at this negatively, my friend. You know, I'm giving you a £79 CAC here. Let's see if you really stand behind your offer. Okay, so he comes back. Salty, I would say. Okay, and like I say, I don't want to make this video negative. This isn't negative. It was in a moment of boredom for me, and I thought, let's see what these people are about. Okay, let's see how good they are at you know, setting appointments, and how good they are at selling. Okay, and what I find, almost literally, I've done this twice now. One in the previous video. Every single time that I've done this, I've found that through one singular minor objection, that is simply enough to trigger these individuals to basically go off the rails, stop pursuing you as a client and give up, okay? Which shocks me terribly, because I get the sense this guy's a young guy here. And it makes me definitely worried about younger generations that are lending their hand to entrepreneurship and business. They don't really understand the amount of persistence you have to have in order to close clients and grow and scale, okay? Which is concerning. So he comes back, I'm good. So I said back to him, to match the saltiness, thumbs up, no problem, can't be that valuable then, all right? So this guy, again, I'm giving him an opportunity. Okay, I've had clients come back to us saying in emails, you can't spell our name right. When I've cold outreached them years back and I've spelt their name right, they've come back to me with insults, personal insults, whatever it might be, every sort of objection under the sun. And not once have I gone back to them ego-led and said to them, no, you're wrong, I'm right. Okay, what's the point? My vision, my goal has always been to scale and grow a successful business. I don't care about my ego. I don't care whether they like me or think that I spelt their name wrong or not. All I care about is the next step and delivering my service because I believe in it and because I know it's valuable, okay? It's very hard to do that, and maybe this guy's at the start of his kind of business genesis. It's very hard to do that when you've just launched a business, when you're young and you don't have a proof of concept that you actually personally can do this. Fortunately, I'm in the position now, almost 6 years in, where my conviction comes from, repeated success and wins of doing things like this. Okay, so I know the level of persistence and the level of attention, a level of effort that it actually takes. All right, so this guy comes back, and bear in mind, any stage you can come back to me here and say, we've had we make a good joke, like we've had fun here, but what about that call? All I need is 3 minutes. I know I've got a big claim here, but I've looked at what you do. And bear in mind, our business is called Acquisition Partner. He's trying to hit me with a client acquisition infrastructure here. Largely we build client acquisition infrastructures for our members who are trying to target ultra high ticket clients. Okay, so he's obviously not done any research. It's a mass TM, all right? But throughout this process, he's not then jumped on my landing page. He's not seen what we do. He's not looked at our testimonials. He's not joined the email list, nothing. Okay, he's made no effort at all other than to become triggered at my minor objection here and my minor test, and then come back with an ego-led response, all right? So he comes back and says, stop, you are too desperate and extremely annoying, okay? That is not how you get people into your Discord. Okay, so this guy is, I think, wildly disillusioned with how business in the real world actually works. He obviously has become triggered at the most sort of minor and implicit objection that I've given him. He's not really seen the forest for the trees. He's not seen any of my responses as an opportunity. At the end of the day, my attention is being given to him. It's I'm giving him my engagement, and I'm here live in the conversation. Okay, so I'm giving him more than probably the tens of thousands of other people that he's mass cold DM'd with a Facebook Messenger bot here, who have not simply replied to him. Okay, so and he still does not see that as an opportunity. He still just continues to be upset and emotional about it, right? So he's saying to me, the prospect who he's trying to pitch on this 300 to 500k service per year, that I'm desperate. Okay, he added me, he's messaged me, he sent me gifts, followed me up, Matthias, whatever his name is. Okay, and now it's got to the point where he's responded in an overly emotional way, and now he's actually taking action to kind of actively try and criticize and offend the prospect, which is just insanity. All right, she's saying to me, you are too desperate and extremely annoying. This is not how you get people into your Discord. Okay, I don't want you in the Discord. Don't want people like you. Okay, the people that we have in our Discord server, we have as a heavily ring-fenced process. We don't want a huge, thousand sort of large Discord server with random 15-year-olds in it. Okay, what we do is slightly more niche than that, and everybody that follows me, knows that and knows who I am. Okay, so anyway, I thought, oh God, I should leave it. Got a million one other things that are better off to do. But at the end of the day, I had a positive result from releasing the last video when I went through DMs like this, okay? And actually, one of the partners in that company that had employed that appointment setter that I made the last video about actually reached out to me and sent me a long personalized voice note about how that's not allegedly what they do, or he's very sorry, things like that. So I said back to this guy, you added me, you cold DM'd me, you tried to follow me up. I don't know you or care to know you. I gave you an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is, and you crumbled. Okay, so he's coming back again, and I just said, goodbye. Good luck, buddy. All right. And then I think at this point I blocked him, because I was like, I literally have to stop myself from carrying on messaging this guy. I've got other stuff to do. And then he's coming back to try and say to me, that's your brand. And I guess what I would say to that is, yes, 100%, this is my brand. Okay, we're pretty no nonsense. Everything that we've done over almost 6 years now has been fully field tested. We lead from the front based off of all of the results that we've got to date. The claims that we make about our service, we actually deliver, guarantee. We've done hundreds and hundreds of times over. So what we definitely do not encourage people to do that join the accelerator is things like this. We actually have our own specific client acquisition infrastructure that we build out for each of our enrollees. But look, that being said, like I say, guys, this isn't a negative video. I just really want anybody who's young watching this to know that there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. Okay. And this is definitely the wrong way of doing it. All right. So whether this guy sees this video or not, I hope that he can use it as, constructive criticism, and basically, use it as a reminder not to get emotional and not to get triggered. Okay. This is business at the end of the day. Keep your eye on the prize, set your vision, set your goals, keep going after them, and stay positive, all right? Because that's what it's all about. You're going to face an incredible and seemingly insurmountable, barrage of objections and rejections and difficulties and problems when you launch your business. It's just the nature of the game. But at the end of the day, you have to stay positive, and you have to stay focused on your goals. All right, guys. So let me know in the comments below. I had some really good comments in the last video like this. Let me know specifically what you think about this video. And perhaps if you are doing a strategy like this, let me know whether it's working for you or not. Let me know if you've got any questions about the right way of doing it, and we will catch up in the next one. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll speak soon. Cheers.